For decades, Nigeria, Africa's largest oil producer, was forced to import the very fuel it needed to survive. Long fuel queues, rising prices, a struggling economy. But one man had a vision to change everything. A vision so bold, it would become the largest refinery in Africa and one of the biggest in the world. This is the story of the Dangote Refinery, a project that could redefine not just Nigeria, but the future of Africa. Nigeria produces millions of barrels of crude oil every day. Yet for years, it exported crude and imported refined fuel. Over 90% of petrol used in Nigeria came from abroad. Think about that. A country rich in oil, but dependent on others to refine it. This led to constant fuel scarcity, heavy government spending on subsidies, pressure on the naira, economic instability. The system was broken. Something had to change. Enter Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man. In 2013, he announced a bold and risky plan to build a refinery so massive it could supply not just Nigeria, but all of Africa. Many doubted him. The cost? Billions of dollars. The risk? Unimaginable. But Dangote was determined. Construction began in 2016 at the Lekki Free Trade Zone. What followed was one of the most ambitious industrial projects in history. Thousands of workers, engineers from around the world, massive equipment shipped across continents. The costs skyrocketed from $9 billion to over $20 billion. But slowly, a giant began to rise. A refinery unlike anything Africa had ever seen. On May 22, 2023, history was made. The Dangote Refinery was officially commissioned. A dream became reality. Soon after, diesel and aviation fuel production began. Petrol production followed. At full capacity, 650,000 barrels per day, the largest single-train refinery on Earth. For Nigeria, everything began to change. For the first time in decades, the country could refine its own fuel. No more total dependence on imports. Billions saved in foreign exchange. Thousands of jobs created. Industries revived. From petrochemicals to manufacturing, Nigeria was no longer just exporting crude, it was adding value. This was more than a refinery, it was an economic revolution. But the impact didn't stop in Nigeria. The Dangote Refinery began supplying fuel across Africa, from West Africa to East Africa, reducing dependence on Europe and Asia. For the first time, Africa had a refining powerhouse. Globally, the refinery added massive supply to the energy market, helping stabilize fuel availability. A new player had entered the global stage. But the journey hasn't been without challenges. Environmental concerns, crude supply issues, rising fuel prices after subsidy removal, fears of monopoly. Questions remain. Can one refinery truly transform a nation? Only time will tell. The Dangote Refinery is more than steel and pipelines. It is a symbol of possibility. A bold statement that Africa can build, refine, and lead. If successful, it could reshape Nigeria's economy, empower millions, and redefine Africa's place in the world. The question is no longer if, but how far this transformation will go. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because this is more than history. This is the future unfolding before our eyes.